2024 has been an interesting year. It's had its ups, it's had its downs. It was fast, it was slow. But as this weird year comes to an end, I thought that I'd take the time to appreciate the technology that either has released or that I discovered this year. From cameras to AI. Here are my top 5 pieces of technology that has released or that I have discovered in 2024. Let's start off the list with how you're watching this video. Not the device that you're watching it on, but how it's being recorded. And that is the Sony a6700. Now, it released in 2023, I know, but this list consists of stuff that I discovered this year. It doesn't have to have released in 2024. Now, the Sony a6700 isn't your typical mirrorless camera. Sure, it's very compact. It's actually very small. It feels like a point and shoot, actually. It has great photography features and amazing video features, as you can tell right now. It features a fully articulating touchscreen, 3 dials, so you can manipulate the entire exposure triangle, that is aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, without fiddling with menus. Now, I was torn between this and the Canon EOS R7. Now, the R7 has its pros and cons, but the video features were just not up to par of what I was expecting. But I feel like the Canon EOS R7 is a more photography-focused camera, meanwhile the Sony a6700 is a more videography-focused camera. But let's get back on topic and talk about the Sony a6700. It features the same exact sensor, like the exact sensor, as the Sony FX30, which is in their cinema line. Now sure, it's APS-C, it's smaller than full frame, but that doesn't hinder its low light performance. It still performs very good in low light. Not even talking about the software stuff and the video specs to all the hardware specs. It's just an overall nice camera. But one big caveat of this Sony a6700 is that it overheats a lot, especially doing 4K 60 FPS video. Now I'm doing 4K 30, so I can do it just fine until my memory card runs out. But once you start doing 4K 60, 4K 120, then it starts overheating, then it starts becoming an issue. Then I would not recommend this camera. Or at least get a mini rig, little cooling fan thing for like $50. Overall, I think the Sony a6700 is the best compact mirrorless camera that you can buy in 2024. And maybe even 2025. I don't know if they're going to release a Sony a6800 in 2025. I mean, at least in 2023. I don't know what their release cycle is for these cameras. All that being said, if you have a Sony a6600, 6500, 6400, even an a6000, don't be discouraged and don't feel tempted to upgrade. I mean, if you have the money, sure, then upgrade. It's a very nice camera. But your camera is still very good. Don't upgrade your body, upgrade your lens. The lens matters 10 times more, 50 times more than the actual body. Even recording on an iPhone is still perfectly acceptable in 2024. Even photographing on an iPhone in 2024 is still very acceptable, and it's like the most popular camera you can photograph with, especially since it has RAW. But that's enough about the Sony a6700. Let's talk about how you're hearing this video. Not the microphone, not your headphones, not your speakers, but the audio interface that's making this entire thing possible. My second favorite piece of technology that I've discovered in 2024 is the Focusrite Scarlett 2x2 4th generation. I can go on and on about this interface. It has 4 inputs, 2 XLR and 2 1/4-inch. It has a crystal clear preamp, and it's even power enough to drive this Shure SM7B, which is notorious for being power hungry. Like before this 4th generation, you'll need a cloud lifter or a FET head. It has silky smooth knobs, which are infinite, which makes it nice to fine tune your volume or your gain. And it's also just fun to fidget with if you're not doing anything with your microphone. All of that is paired with surprisingly good software, especially coming from a non-software company. Let's take a little curveball and talk about AI. That was probably the biggest advancement in 2024. And I don't think that's a really good thing. I think that AI needs to be stopped while it still can. I think AI needs to be regulated while it still can be. I think AI is just killing human creativity, especially with generative AI. With DALL-E, you can create images. And even with OpenAI Sora, you can create whole videos. I think that that's a terrible idea and we should stop it in its tracks. What's the fun in producing a video when someone at home can just make the exact same video in less than 5 minutes just by typing a few words into a prompt? I agree with all AI that makes things more accessible, like AI captions and voice synthesis AI, but not the type where you can replicate celebrity voices. I don't think that's a good thing. I think we should get rid of that. But people who are losing their voices or are facing the threat of losing their voices, whether that be throat cancer or any other condition that requires you to lose your voice. And there's AIs, like Apple even has an AI that allows you to read sentences, like I think 30 minutes of sentences into your phone, and it creates a voice model for you so that you can like regularly speak. I think that's a really good step forward. That's a really good use case of AI, but all the other AI, like generative AI and voice synthesis AI, that's not really your own voice, that needs to go away. Or at least heavily regulated, like very, very heavily regulated. And I think that people need to stop accepting that AI is a thing now. I think people need to stop accepting the fact that their timeline is full of AI slop. I think that we have the power to stop it, but we just don't have the will to stop it. The third thing on my list is the M4 iPad Pro. Now that might be a shock because I'm not really a big iPad guy anymore. I used to daily drive a 2018 iPad Pro, but ever since I switched to a MacBook, I just can't justify buying an iPad anymore, even though I literally have an 11-inch 2024 iPad Pro. But that's not the point. The 2024 iPad Pro is a very capable device. It's a bit weird that the M4 chipset released on the iPad, but otherwise it's a very good chip. It's just being limited by its software. iPadOS is so limiting, people don't want to develop for it. I know there's DaVinci Resolve, there's Logic Pro, there's Final Cut Pro, but people just don't want to develop it. There's just no really incentive. I mean, I edit my videos on an M4 iPad Pro just fine. It's the perfect editing device in my opinion, but I can't say the same for other people. I don't think that you should buy an iPad to replace your current computer, but I think you should buy an iPad to sort of give an extension to your current computer, or if you're like a college kid or something. And the one thing that I really like about the M4 iPad Pro is the display. I think that it is the best display that I've ever used. It has super rich colors, deep blacks, and really bright highlights. Just a quick intervention while I'm editing. This is being recorded on the iPad. The camera still sucks, don't worry about it. It has a reference mode. If my voice sounds off, it's because it's if my voice sounds tired, it's because it's 7 in the morning and I haven't slept. There's a thing, there's a really cool feature called reference mode where it's like the world's cheapest reference monitor, if you know what I mean. It locks the brightness, it basically turns your iPad into a reference monitor. If you don't know what a reference monitor is, here's a definition right here. I can't explain it right now. I'm barely functioning right now. Anyways, back to the video. And I think that the display alone is enough to justify buying this iPad. I mean, whether you're buying it to take notes or just to watch content on it, it's a really good iPad. And it's sure to last 10 years at least. The last thing on my list might come as a surprise, but it's the Apple Vision Pro, which technically released in 2024. Don't laugh. I'll try to justify it, but it's my list. It's my opinions. The Apple Vision Pro looks like the future of computing. That might be laughable now. People laughed at the Macintosh back in 1984 because it failed, but without the Macintosh, you probably wouldn't be using a mouse. Sure, Apple didn't invent the mouse, but they were the first ones to really popularize it. Contrary to what people are saying, it has really good hand tracking and a really good pass-through feature. The pass-through feature is way better than the MetaQuest 3s, and I don't know about the MetaQuest 3S, which looks like it's trying to compete with the Vision Pro. I personally find it a little overweight. The one caveat of the Vision Pro is that it's very front-heavy, so that it's very fatiguing to wear for long periods of time. During my 30-minute demo at an Apple store, my face was starting to hurt, and I even had a little indentation around my face. But of course, all of the issues will most likely improve as generations come and go. Again, this is only first generation technology, and it's really good so far. The price tag can be a little lower, but again, first generation technology, you know, the first computer costs millions of dollars, but now you can buy an HP Stream for like $100. So yeah, this was a rushed video. It's currently 2:21 on the 31st, and I'm just now recording this video. 2:21 a.m. I've just been procrastinating on this video a lot, and I thought this was the perfect time to record it. Not the perfect time, but you know, I will prefer it a little longer. But so yeah, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, I guess. I don't know. I don't really do outros. And stay tuned for more videos in 2025. I'll try to fix my upload schedule. I say that after every video. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I have a few videos planned out. So yeah, thank you for watching. And let me know what your favorite technology of 2024 is. I really want to know. I think that it's interesting to hear other people's opinions instead of everybody just hearing my opinion. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Probably next year.